Me, 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 me. Hey everybody, I'm back. It's your boy, Zakinator070. Thanks for once again another episode of RPG Tools with your host, me, Zakinator070. Just want to give you a little shout out to all the people who helped out last time. Love y'all so much. Heart, heart, kiss, kiss. Muchas gracias. Uh, if you liked the last video, go ahead and subscribe. And don't forget to like and comment. Also, got some great news, guys. The merch store is online. Got those t-shirts. Put a little image right here. Boom. Look at that. Don't you want to be that guy? Go check out the merch store. Link in the description. Don't forget also that we just started our Patreon. You can sign up and give a monthly subscription to yours truly. And don't forget, we're also live streaming coding every day. You can head on over to twitch.tv/Zakinator070 and check it out while we are editing RPG Tools. Thank you guys so much. Anyway, on to the video. So, hey guys, so thanks for the advice last time. I didn't actually edit the game at all since last time. Sorry, but instead I decided to go in a little different direction with exporting and importing articles. Kind of after I talked with you guys, I was like, oh, now that you get to play the game, there's like not a lot of content to play with. And I realized that like as you're, especially like if you're new to the game or if you have a brand new server and you're like, okay, I want to like start playing with like Dungeons and Dragons stuff. Well, how the heck am I going to do that? Bray found a beautiful API. So this is the information that you can import, or at least that the API has access to. Here's all the API docs. I'm sure you don't care about that. There's the link up there if you so care to. So I am really only importing monster information right now, which is kind of a lot. I mean, it's like 1,000 monsters, and so I mean, like, unless you're a hardcore D&D guy, you may not even have heard of some of this stuff because some of this stuff is from Kickstarter projects. Specifically, TOB is Tome of Beasts, and then CC is Creature Codex, and those are two Kickstarters by the same company. They're open source, and so they're able to pull that information in. But I mean, like I said, it's like 1,000 freaking monsters, and a lot of them don't even have images. I mean, most of it is like, this stuff, right? And that's really all I have access to. So, so the way I got around it was just by default, it loads the regular, the SRD, which is the standard. I can't remember the acronym name, but it's the standard open content given by Wizards of the Coast. So that's automatically loaded in, and then you're able to choose if you want Creature Codex or Tome of the Beasts. And it hits the API straight on. I don't know if that's gonna like cause some downstream like effects on their API, because I mean I'm like grabbing everything. And this takes a bit, and then if we go back to our wiki, we can see that there's a nice little 5e section, and boom, here's all of our monsters. And it's just that same information that you saw over there. My test dummy has been our lovely Aboleth here. Oh, isn't he so cute? He's like the only one with an image. I don't know if I'm gonna go. If I'm gonna go find, I mean, look at all these guys, right? There's about 100 or so. I mean, to go out and find images for all that, ugh. I mean, maybe one day if I'm like really bored, maybe I'll go do that, and then we're able to. I'll show you the export stuff later. But so this is what basically it looks like. Formatting's okay. It's pretty much the same thing. Nothing really fancy. Just like your stats and your abilities and actions and legendary actions and all that. The thing I have been working on is, so let's say that like instead of doing this over and over again, you're able to export it, which can be really handy because not only we'll export this, but let's say we go back and we want to attach images to all these, or we can attach 3D models, and we want to export a model over here, which obviously that model information and that image information isn't going to be tied to this API. And we want to export that and kind of bundle it for like players to use or DMs to use. So that way when they make a fresh world and they're like, okay, I want to stock it up with the regular Dungeons and Dragons 5e stuff, they're able to do that. And real quick, I did have a question here about kind of what, it's like really small. I don't even know if you guys really even care, but so for example, when you export this guy, it gives you a little zip file. You can see all the testing I've done down here. It gives you the image. This is the icon. They're all named kind of weird because they're got all these unique IDs that connect them all together. But you see there's no directory structure in here. But this article, it was under Azeroth 5e monsters. And so I didn't know if I should retain that directory in the zip, because if I were to retain it in the zip, then when I were to import it again, another thing so this I'm also wondering, this location, it's weird. It's in world settings, which is kind of a weird page to begin with. It's kind of like Anyway, what was that thing we just downloaded? I think it was this guy. Open him up, submit him, go back to our lovely world, and then when you re-import him, he goes, there's our aboleth again. Boom, and here's all this information. And so it just sticks him right at the very top underneath Azereth. It doesn't stick him in the same location again. It doesn't retain that directory structure. And I don't know. I was wondering, like if you export it, should it retain the path, and then when you import it, it should just go into that same path? Like it'll create if for example this 5e didn't exist, it'll create the 5e, it'll create the monsters, and then it will stick the aboleth in here when it's imported. Is that like kind of what you would expect to do? Or I could add like a button here that you then brings up a dialog that says, okay, you want to import something, and then it will put it underneath a specific folder. So let's say we had a monsters folder in here, and we want it under this folder instead of this 5e thing. I could then say, oh, stick it under monsters instead of the global one. What's your behavior that you would think would come from that? That's what I was really wondering. Need to actually work on importing and exporting the models too, because I'm sure that's the big thing that people are going to want to. Anyway, let me know what you think about the directory structure, or if that's like nothing you even care about. Also, like what information over here, like there's the character information, like kind of all these things. Also class information. Like I assume that like when you're playing, like you have a player's manual, and so a lot of these things like you don't really need. The only reason kind of why I went for monsters first is because like while you're playing the game, and while you're playing the game, to try to attach some of this information to the model that you're looking at on the game board. And I needed to import that somehow, and so that was the mechanism that I was developing. I don't know. Should I? I mean, I'm sure like doing all this stuff is like it's not very hard. I mean, I just have to be like, okay, add a section here, and it's just really plain text. This table might be a little hard formatting that, but I found a markdown importer that I could use. Anyway, should I include all this stuff? Should I not? Trying to find out what's kind of like my priorities right now. Because now it's like just like finding content, putting the content all together, and kind of making a good bundle for like an opening world, so that when you create a world, it's not just like empty, or at least like a bare minimum like play set, so that you can start playing and you don't have to like go in and say, oh well, I want to play with an aboleth. Okay, so I have to like make this wiki page, or go out and find a model and then go in here and like create this and then make sure the dimensions are okay. And it'd be nice if like you could just say, okay, like boom, you're ready to go. Like go over to your game and like go over here and start adding stuff. Like you don't even have to fiddle around with all the other things. This is a bug. Like that's kind of where I want everybody to be. Anyway, thanks again. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Check out the OBS. I'm getting more professional as the days go by. Thanks a lot. See ya. Bye bye.